All right, everybody.
Hey.
To Irongeek cast number 71, oddly named Postempathetic greater than Postmeritocracy, for a story I have way later in the show notes. We may not even have time to get to.
Oof. That's
Anyway.
Sure we will.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Hello.
I am doing great in my Tony the Tiger voice. Happy wonderful Wednesday, everyone. From me and Simone. We are rocking out tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am doing fairly well. My legs are recovering after this weekend.
That's what I'm talking about. Go legs.
That's right. And I think I lost about 5 pounds.
Nice.
Sweet.
Wait,
What was that?
are the hackers on the farm? Dude, you guys are eating a shit ton of stuff.
We were, but we were also walking and moving.
Wow.
But what we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, show notes as far as upcoming cons. I got Circle City Con this weekend. Going to drive up to Indianapolis tomorrow night.
I'll see you up there, Dan.
Got Show Me Con June 7th through the 8th. Then B-Sides Cleveland June 23rd. And GurCon on September 6th and 7th. So there's a big gap there. I'm not sure I'm going DEF CON or not. I need to check with some other situations to know if I'm going out there. I know B-Sides Augusta wants me to come record for them, but I can't because the day before I've already told B-Sides Raleigh I'd be there. And it's really hard to get all my shit on a plane and back off. And, oh, man. B-Sides Augusta just has 4 tracks. And that's a lot of shit to carry around.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah, because you're doing that solo, right?
Yes. Well, and I get new volunteers every place I go.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Sometimes it's someone who's done it the previous year, but a lot of times it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tech recruiters who have to explain what the difference is between HDMI and VGA.
Hey.
Yes.
At least you have some help.
That's it.
There was a certain conference.
That counts.
There was a certain conference in the hometown of one of the people on the stream right now. You are. They had me come out to record, and after like the 3rd or 4th person who was a volunteer who didn't know the difference between HDMI and VGA, I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, what are you? And I found out they were all like recruiters.
Oh, that sounds like, yeah, that's probably me. That's probably my hometown. that sounds about right. The crap that you hear about where the kid is, or the kid is usually the one fixing their parents' IT, fixing their computer. That comes from my area, or my neck of the woods.
Ricky still has a survey out there. I don't know if we got any more feedback on it, but Ricky hasn't been on for a bit. Hopefully he'll be on tonight, or I need to DM him. Yeah,
I give him a shout myself. Just a quick update on Broken Sec. I'm currently working on the logo, on how the logo is going to look for Broken Sec. I give you guys a heads up. It's going to be a picture of just somebody pretty much snapping apart a chain and kind of like yelling, but then it'll have like Broken Sec at the bottom.
Nice.
So currently working on that logo. And, you know, it's taking a little time because there's just 2 of us, but we're going to get it together. Right? Yes. Also, too, just a quick update. As I said before, I'm currently working on the OSCE, towards the OSCE. And for all of you that are listening on the stream, and if you're working towards the OSCE, what's done me justice so far, I've gone through the assembly, security tube assembly videos just as a start. And I would advise anyone, I mean, start off with those videos, but honestly, pretty much learn as much as you can about assembly, because the OSCE course is related more towards exploit development. After looking at the syllabus, there is some like advanced web application techniques that you're going to learn, but the more you do in preparation before you sign up for the course, the better off you'll be. So I'm dedicating this summer to assembly. So it's called the Summer of Assembly. Nice. And I've even And to even help myself a little bit further, I've even dedicated it to my new journal.
Ooh.
So I write in this journal every night, just like today's events, what I need to get better at, what I need to work on. That's part of my hack the body challenge. All of my thoughts go in there, and just really just having fun this summer, learning it. And for anyone that's out there that's working on like any type of certification, the journey is the fun part. I mean, the cert is just a piece of paper, but it's the journey and what you learn from it. That's what's most important. So that's the mindset I'm going into. And also too, I realized the OSCE for 30 days is $1,200.
Oof.
Okay. Now, here's the tricky part. The offensive security web interface is only offered at Black Hat each year. I think that's like $5K from what I was told on the IRC channel.
Wow.
Shit.
And you got to realize, anybody out there, you got to realize this is all coming out of my pocket. I don't have no company backing me.
Yeah.
That's $5K, not including like travel and your ticket into Black Hat.
I believe so, but I still got to do some more research on it.
All right.
If they elect to, I've heard, going through the offensive security forum that they have that they're looking to bring the web course online. They should.
Yeah, they should, man.
They should just bring it online because I mean everybody can't really afford, things, like people who don't have companies backing them to go to Black Hat and take it.
Thanks, now Black Hat. Yeah, Simone agrees.
Yes. She's like, look, you cutting into my college fund.
So Charles, on the exploit development, you're studying up heavily on assembly.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Is that the only thing you're going to be focusing on, or are you going to be doing Python on top of that and just using assembly as the base, or?
Well, I'm gonna be using assembly as a base, but of course Python on top of that because of Mona. I've gotten heavily deep into Immunity Debugger because this is based off of Windows exploitation, this exam. So I've been spending a lot of time with Immunity and Mona. And of course, Mona is written in Python, which allows you to find like jump instructions or whatnot. And of course, a combination of Metasploit when you're doing this because you need to try to find a pattern offset. It's just a little bit easier.
Cool.
And I'm manually counting bad characters. So I have a character set 1 through 255 in hexadecimal. So when I'm checking for bad characters, I'm manually when I'm running my script against a vulnerable when I'm fuzzing a vulnerable application with those bad characters just to see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm learning a ton. I'm learning how the exploit development process goes. And I think that's the key. Because if you understand what you're looking at and it's not just repetitive, then when tricky things come into play, you'll be able to identify them because you know how things work. So I actually spent some time reading up on memory management in Linux and Windows. So I understand how the memory is managed when the application looks at it from a lower level perspective. And the .text, the .data, .bss, kernel, the heap and the stack, and what grows up the address and what grows down. And of course, stack is always going down, and heap is always going up.
Mm-hmm. So you're ready to start hitting on a Spectre and Meltdown?
Right.
Hey man, not yet, but I'm growing.
There you go.
Yeah, that. Oh my gosh, that whole thing. Oh man.
Yeah, so I'm having some fun with it. Like I said, I'm taking the test in December.
Nice.
So I'm spending all of this time just to really learn and dig into the exploit dev world. I think, and also too, I think that's important when it comes to penetration testing. Even though penetration testing, you're finding exploits that are already available, that are already publicly available. But it's nice to know how to, if you see something that could be exploited, on how to like code your own shell code from scratch. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, maybe we can have a discussion about that later, since it's not in the show notes, on the ethicality of if you have the skill set to be able to make your own exploits that are not publicly available and utilizing those in a pen test.
Yes. Yeah, we can talk about that offline.
Not even offline, just after the...
Well, afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's rock out through these show notes, y'all. Woohoo!
All right, let's bring up the first one. Skynet is listening to you. This seems to be an article about insecurities in personal assistants like Google's Alexa and not Google's Alexa, it's Amazon Alexa and Google's Assistant. What's the other one?
That's Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant are the ones that are talked about in the article.
Yeah, the two that are named.
Two main ones.
All right. What kind of things do they find besides something like Alexa, please display goat porn?
No.
I think it had something to do with lizards.
No, I briefly looked over the article, and it was talking about how you could exploit certain skills to be like, hey, open up my Capital One card or Capital One skill or something like that, and then you would be able to get Capital One or card information for people that have the Capital One skill enabled on their Alexa and stuff like that, which is not good.
Yeah, and because we talked about something similar here 2 or 3 weeks ago, and all of these, it seems like, require a skill to be installed.
Yeah,
I've yet to see one of these that can work and capture data, send data, if it's just a base straight Google Assistant or an Alexa.
Yeah. It's interesting because this is kind of going back, like we're kind of backtracking a little bit towards when mobile development and mobile applications really started to take over, and no one really knew how to manage or verify that these were actually applications that were saying what they were meant to do, or they were doing something in the background, like mining crypto, or they were just becoming part of a botnet or just running malware on phones and stuff like that. So it's to me, this kind of seems like the same thing where we're backtracking to the point of like, okay, yeah, Amazon skills may be hackable or maybe running malware or something like that. So it's just back to that same kind of point where we just need to institute those same security checks.
Yeah, and I mean, it's same type of mindset as BYOD. Because I can imagine some C-level guys, maybe some managers, want to have a stinking Amazon Alexa in their office to listen to the radio or something. And they're sneaking those items and devices in.
Yeah.
And IT departments and security still need to treat these things exactly as any other bring your own device.
Yeah.
It needs to be segmented off. If they allow, well, first off, they should never allow that crap. But if they do, it needs to be segmented off and just keep that thing away. Then put a freaking Faraday cage around it.
No, make sure that room is soundproof and no freaking radio waves or any crap can get into that thing.
Exactly.
Which we'll talk about radio waves later on in the show, because there's another piece in the show notes for that.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Anybody have any more thoughts on Skynet's listening to you?
Well, I mean, I believe it was late last week. There was an article put out. I actually put it in the Discord where a couple was just having a conversation, and somehow some events triggered, and that recorded conversation got sent to an employee of the man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was on Alexa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The conversation was innocuous. They were talking about like flooring or something like that, and basically, hey, Amazon said because they said these certain keywords, it said, "Oh, start listening," and "Oh, send it to this person." So it sounded like that. That was Amazon's response, but yeah.
But still, I mean, it could have been anything. He could have been beating it up, and It got sent off. That's the aspect I look at it as because my girlfriend has a couple of them, and then she gets mad like every time I'm over, I'm like throwing it out of the room, like it don't need to be in here.
we don't. Yeah, Jack, no, so that thing get out to the internet. That he'd be on the episode of Irongeek.
Like, hey, we really need to listen to this. What the fuck?
What is going on here? Tonight on tonight's show notes, Jack decides to let it all hang out. Really? On the hangout?
Charles found what audio he wants to play on the show tonight? Surprise, Jack.
Jack got the cheeks.
And then Adrian will be like, he didn't send us a cease and desist letter, so I thought it was okay.
Nice.
Hold on, it's a classic. We love you. We just want to make sure that you're okay. And that's why I don't have a damn Alexa in my house.
No.
Right.
No.
Right. I just inherently do not trust it by default because I have.
Me neither.
I fuck with my neighbors' IoT devices all the fucking time just for fucking giggles.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's going on there. Now, you gotta be careful too, because you slip up and hear something you weren't supposed to hear. Yeah, tonight while Jack's sleeping, we're gonna take his shit.
Nah, that'd be the wrong fucking answer on their part.
Yeah, actually, I'd want to hear that. Yeah, come through that door. I'm waiting.
Next week on our Irongeek podcast, Irongeek cast number 72, Jack's home invasion.
Yeah,
it was his house.
But Jack would be like this. I remember one time. Hold on, I hear something at the door. I start taking off. Okay.
Oh man.
No, that's what the cameras are for.
Oh yeah. The floodlights.
We're not talking about those cameras in the bedroom. He's got to be pointed to the exterior.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the ones in the interior of the house on a completely different system. It's all close to
No, there's no cameras inside. It's all outside.
Tell us anything. Meow.
What's up with that red light? Don't worry about it. Just shut up and take it.
Oh, that's what they call it, the red light district.
Special. Red light special.
Yeah, don't worry about that red light. It's something from Amsterdam. Oh, okay.
Okay. He told me Amsterdam. Are you kidding me?
New York Times.
It'd be somebody's father. I don't give a damn what he told you. It is not the truth. That's the damn my ass.
That damn Caprico.
What?
Classic.
But to be fair,
I'm on one tonight, y'all. Woo!
Right. To be fair, though, Alexa is super fun to have around, but I would not ever own one myself. Like I had one of my. There was an interesting time where there was one of my coworkers was making a customized skill for the company that just to like make Alexa say specific things about us. And mine was he made different rules. So like you would say, "Hey Alexa, what's rule like 20 something?" I don't remember what the actual number was, and my number was Nate can and will scan all of your devices and tell you if there's anything wrong with it, if you want it or not.
Nice. I like it.
Because I did a little bit. Or at least some of the systems that we had that were outward facing. So just to make sure.
Very nice.
Caught a couple of weird things where we had some odd things that were outward facing fixed, but yeah, took months. But
yeah,
always
you get
good to fix the outward facing.
Yeah. But if you get Alexa, you might as well just go on and just admit it. You were sleeping with Big Brother now. You can forget it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Big Brother's watching. No,
The
Big Brother's
one
sleeping with you.
Yeah, but you're sleeping with a one-way mirror though.
True.
One-way black mirror.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very black.
The one argument I've heard, which isn't exactly wrong, from defenders of that kind of technology, playing devil's advocate here, is that it's no different than people who use the OK Google thing on their phone.
That's true. Well, Dave Kennedy proved that when he unlocked the phone with it. The Google Pixel.
Nice.
So, don't get me wrong. I absolutely am all for vilifying the home-specific wiretaps, or rather, though I do think that it shouldn't forget that the OK Google and the OK Siri are also of DCM ilk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and if you have an Amazon Fire TV and you press the remote, that the microphone on that remote, I don't trust that either.
Oh, and here's another one on that Amazon TV subject, real quick. If you have the Fire TV or numerous other devices plugged into your TV, have the USB plugged in to power the device. Whenever you turn your TV off, you think that turns the device off?
Fuck no.
Nope.
Hell no, it doesn't.
Hell no.
And a lot of people out there think whenever you turn TV off, that powers off everything. Nope.
No, that's like the Fire Stick, the Fire TV. That crap boots up faster than NVMe drives. There's no way that crap isn't turned off all the way. It's in sleep at some point. There's still power coursing through that thing.
Oh, I don't even know if it sleeps. I should throw because I have a Fire TV upstairs in a far room.
Yeah, just throw
yeah, I'd have to. There's got to be a energy, some way to tap through to
kilowatt. Use a kilowatt. Those people will tell you if it's got power to it or not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that's how I was able to find a listening device that was implanted on a TV through a fucking Fire Stick.
Dude,
ooh, interesting.
Nice. Well, not nice that you found it, but nice for the ingenuity of it.
So the listening device though was on the Fire Stick, and they were listening through the Fire Stick.
No,
or they used the Fire Stick like as a USB drive.
They used the Fire Stick, and it was plugged, and it was powered by the USB. It was powered by the USB, and the USB. The Fire Stick tricked the TV into thinking it was a firmware update.
Oh, that is.
And so it had back and forth comms, and it was being published out through the Fire Stick.
I like that. That's very creative, especially on TV.
And no, you're not getting that fucking sample.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that sounds like some real government actor shit right there.
Yeah,
no, you're not getting that sample. Next time on Irongeek Cast. Yeah, Jack's not here anymore.
No.
One sample too far.
No, I mean the fucked up part is we can't figure out who did it.
Huh.
There's no like identifying factors in the okay.
No.
I mean, yeah.
No, I mean my only guess is it's probably one of her friends playing dumb, but you know.
that's not real dumb.
Let's just make sure that Donnie T is not up to anything stupid. Oh wait, that's just everything. Never mind.
No, she was a female, and I was like, well, odds are, this is your bedroom, and well, you might have done something, so you need to assume that they heard it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Okay, and that was Skynet is listening to you.
Yeah. So make sure you turn off Alexa before you get down to it in the bedroom.
I just got one more thing to say to Skynet.
Yeah.
Grab life by the steering wheel and kick its ass. Ow! Woo! That's how you got to do it.
That's right.
Okay. Make sure you update your fake/unverified Twitter birthday. And I remember on January 1st, I see so many people's profiles I go to have it says it's the birthday when I'm pretty damn sure it's not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know my actual one, but
yeah. So on Twitter, you can show your birthday to the public or hide it where you just see it yourself. And Twitter doesn't even make you enter a birthday, but due to GDPR, which we'll mention later, to be on Twitter and apparently any other social media site, it's stating that you have to be at least 13 years old.
That is correct, and that has been the case even with Facebook back when I first got Facebook when I turned 13, which was about
5 years ago.
8 years ago. Sorry.
I got underwear older than you.
That's just poor life choice. Well, not that's super. Well,
I got shoes older than you, man.
Yes, you probably have. There's a lot of shit that you have that's older than me. It's fine. Move on. Talk about the Twitter thing.
Crap! Yeah, my truck's almost older than you.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So on Twitter, they've been going through, and the birthday is voluntary. So if you didn't enter a birthday, this would not affect you. If you did enter a birthday, and you're one of the many people out there who just enter stuff just because you can, and say you entered January 1st, 2006.
Yeah.
No, we're looking at 13 years.
2000.
So yeah, 2005.
Or sorry, 2005. 2005.
Yeah, 2005, 2006. If you enter a birthday then, yeah, they probably have X'd out your account or disabled your account.
Or anything after that.
Yes, or anything after. Yeah. So if you're only a month old, you're screwed.
Pretty much.
On the internet, only a month old. Yeah.
in dog years.
Which actually makes sense because you think with like Twitter bots before that, if you didn't have to input a do you have to input a birthday now?
They may be making it mandatory. That I don't know yet.
Because that would actually make it actually never mind. It's not going to make it harder for them. They'll just put in a birthday that's
exactly,
13,
and that's
13 years old to the day.
Yeah, and that's why I put to make sure you update your fake unverified Twitter birthday. Unverified. They don't verify any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So you could be a 5-year-old and put that you're 27.
Pretty much.
Or you could be a 60-year-old and put you're 18 and, doing that kind of stuff.
Have your
bro,
yeah.
The internet never had and never will have any rules. It'll forever be the Wild Wild West.
Yes and no.
Well,
for those
who new
money and stay successful, they will have to follow some given rules. For those who just want to be out there and be on the internet and don't care about making money and having a good public image, it won't matter.
Well, damn, I'm screwed.
Yeah, same.
Because here's the thing: the way I act online and the way I act online is the same way I act at work and in person. So I'm screwed. I'm really screwed because I don't know how to be any other way but moi. And again, sometimes in corporate America, they're not ready for all of that.
I've learned they're not ready for chocolate dynamite.
What? I used to be Thunder, now I'm Dynamite. I'm growing.
Or become more explosive.
I'll show up. I kid you not. Like, matter of fact, I can take it back to 2 weeks ago. I went to this client site, and I came in, and I think it was a Monday or a Tuesday. I can't remember, but I came in just like as I normally do, a burst of energy, and I said, you know what? Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. To all my Starbucks people, it's Macchiato Monday. If you're just happy, it's Magnificent Monday. Let's get this day started. Boom. So, yeah, some people were looking like, what in the hell just happened here?
What are you on? Where can I get it?
I want some.
Charles, we're going to have to ask you to go down to Work World. We need you to go ahead and pee in a cup.
Exactly.
Hey, it's all genetics, so I have no problem doing it. Like, how many times do you want me to do it? I mean, it's just.
I'm getting paid for this? Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I said, you want to know the secret to my high? You want to know how I get my high? It's not from a pill. It's just for me. It's not from a pill. It's just a thrill that I get to wake up and live my dream every day of being in tech. That's my high. That's my obsession.
Yeah.
That's my obsession. That's my blurred line, whatever you want to call it. But I get to wake up and be in tech, from plush toys to new gear to Mega Man stuff. I'm a huge Mega Man fan. And I get to have fun in this stuff all day and and hopefully one day I get to heal the sick corporate people who are just wasting their life on that hamster wheel. I just want to hug one and just release them from their sanity.
It's okay. You can hack now. It's going to be all right.
Just want to pet them like, you can go out and be a social justice warrior. You can do it. You can do it. And then, I'm doing the circular motion because that way it kind of like hypnotizes them. And then they walk in one day and just break the chains of just break it all off. Not free thinking like Kanye, but just free thinking like themselves and have fun and live again. Yeah, that Kanye shit. Yeah, that's way too heavy for me. But
swoopity whoop.
Yeah. Kanye West is an example of someone who's not comfortable in their own skin and try to look and seek approval from other people. Moi, I love my beautiful black skin and I'm comfortable in it, and I don't seek other people's approval. Love me or leave me alone.
A-approval or B-approval.
There you go. C-approval too.
There you go. All about the approvals.
Yeah, it is. Approvals. Ow. What is next on the show notes? What we got next, y'all?
Someone else covered this, but I'm working on a Circle City Con artwork.
Circle away, my brethren.
Hey, Caprico, you read up on this some. I added it, but
did I? Did I read up on this a little bit? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it was this acoustic text.
Oh, yeah.
So this one caught my eye a little bit.
Make sure you read the subject though.
Yep. Researching a new 2010 attack vector, which this catches my eye because, as many of you probably know, as it has been stated, some people in the cast have underwear that's older than me. So for me, seeing something that's from 8 years ago when I was still 2010 minus 8 years. Yeah, I was like 12 when this was a thing, maybe.
Well, and that's why I titled it that. They just found this, but okay. I think this would have been much more relevant 8 years ago in 2010 when nobody was practically using SSDs and everything was still spinny disk. And now it's just getting to be outdated.
So apparently there is so we all know, the article goes into, okay, we all know how a DOS attack works. It brings down an organization's website. It's bad. Customers can't get to your stuff, blah, 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 blah. We've all heard this a million times. So apparently now, since we're all on non-spinny disks, you can now use ultrasonic frequencies, which is a high-frequency radio wave. I might be butchering that.
Actually, through the speakers.
Wouldn't it be a sound wave?
Yeah.
Yeah, sound wave.
Sorry. Yeah, they're using sound wave.
So an ultrasonic sound wave. So you yourself won't be able to hear this because it's ultrasonic, meaning that it's outside of the hearing range of a normal human. And it will, I believe, shut down or start breaking crap on your machines.
Yeah, and that's so. Yeah, and this can use just the computer's regular speakers, and it's not even necessarily outside of our field of hearing. They found specific tones played in a certain way is able to cause the disc to move just enough that it ends up crashing a spinny disk hard drive. And they were able to do this on laptops and desktops, but it still required, a speaker to be there. And whenever they first got an idea of this, let me see if I can find that in the drive again, or in the article again. But there was a place that had a fire alarm going off in the data center, and the fire alarm hit that perfect pitch that they had multiple drives in the data center start to fail due to that fire alarm going off. Dude. So it's cool, but I
just looked at one of their scenarios that they have as a possible way to demonstrate, or that they demonstrated, was they attacked a security camera that has a spinning drive inside of it. About the same time frame as about like 2010, 2011, there was a talk at Black Hat, and it was called hacking like a movie spy or something like that. I can't remember the full thing, but the guy was literally, how in movies where you see like guy freezes image on a camera and he loops it and blah blah blah. So a guy was able to recreate that. At the same time, that there's still data that's being written to the drive itself. So that's another way to say, like, okay, well, maybe you give the central system your data and the drive fails, so there's no way to recover anything that might actually be recorded on the device. So that's a huge attack vector now for CCTVs and stuff like that.
Yeah, because feasibly you could have just your own device that is working on this proper pitch and proper wavelength and be able to attack these. I can't think of too many just out in the open, like CCTVs and stuff like that. They're going to be connected back to a back-end system.
Yeah.
Maybe there's still some that have a localized hard drive. I sure hope not.
Or like you'll probably see that more in mom and pop kind of small business settings, I would think, where they bought their security cameras like years ago.
Yeah, like 10, 15 years ago.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago. But then you're seeing stuff coming out now and everything's on IoT, kind of just Internet of Things kind of style.
Yeah, just small SD cards and stuff in them.
Oh, that would be so interesting if I did that here, because there literally is a security camera around every corner here. Like you walk into the city, there's like 20 within like a 100-meter radius of you.
Nice.
So just have like a Raspberry Pi just speakering out this ultrasonic frequency.
So do you walk around at night with like infrared lights, like covering your face in a mask and just for fun?
No, I walk around drunk.
That's another option.
That's the only time I go into the city. It's usually when I'm partying. So, if we're being all completely honest here.
There you go.
But no, I could see that being a big attack vector, especially if all the stuff is being saved locally to each camera and then uploaded to another spot.
Yeah, and then on the other side, can sound waves penetrate? They can penetrate walls to some rate,
if
right?
they're strong enough. Yeah, but the problem is walls. Anything solid is a really good dampening material. So if it has to be strong enough to actually vibrate the drives and penetrate the wall, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna see something shake.
Yeah, you would think that some of the low riders would have just taken out huge data centers by now.
Yeah, and on that subject, I mean, there's a lot of data centers that still use spinny drives. They're still very, very common.
They are.
For SAN arrays, for standalone blades, all kinds of shit that use actual physical drives rather than SSDs.
Unless you moved over to like Pure Storage or what's some of the others,
or something like that,
Simplicity and some of those, yeah. Which, man, I tell you what, some of those solid state storage systems, those are just amazingly fast, just stupid fast.
Yeah,
that's
but
what
they're
my server
so
is
expensive, and they're so they have so much maintenance involved because flash fatigue and all that shit. So not because it's actually usable unless you use it for when I worked for Experian, we had a bunch of SSDs because it sped up our response times. But that was for like a special application. Most of the rest of the data center was still physical drives, spinning disks. So
yeah. But I think too, over the next probably 5 to 10 years, we'll see the vast majority of SANs move over and migrate to SSD base.
Yeah, if they can defeat flash fatigue and increase density, oh yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, because price point has honestly started coming down on them. Yeah. That if you're comparing it to like a 3-par or something like that, may even be cheaper than a 3-par.
And I've seen more and more people build clusters using nothing but NVMe drives too.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say that as well.
You're bypassing, host bus adapter. You're bypassing, SATA. You're going straight onto the bus.
Yeah.
So.
Stupid fast.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Anything else on our new 2010 attack vector?
Only thing that is 2010, and we need to move on. I'm just saying, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Hey, we're still dealing with SQL injection, so a 2010 attack vector is still better than a 1990 attack vector.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Brute force.
This is so true. We're still dealing with SQL injections. For God's sake, we're still dealing with stored cross-site scripting. We're still dealing with C.
Or weekly encrypted passwords. I mean, shit.
Weak passwords, yes. That's another huge problem.
Hey, not even just weak default. Come on, let's do this right.
Yeah,
I think it was recently. There was a recent news report of a Comcast portal vulnerability where you could literally get someone's password. I'm thinking, retrieving a clear text password seems a little bit. Where did they knock? Why did their security people not get the message that you're supposed to at least hash?
Or here's a new trend or an old trend: running outdated versions of Linux.
Running outdated versions of anything, really.
Yeah, but it's even worse now. I'm starting to see a lot of outdated versions of Linux running amok out there. Like so like a month ago, I ran into an old box. I think it was an old Samba server running Red Hat 7.2.
Jeez.
Oh, good God.
It was in the corner. It was in some type of weird little, it was like a little desktop that somebody had.
They probably didn't want to change it because it works.
Yeah. Exactly, but that's
the main thing.
But that's the main thing. But you know how many exploits for the version Red Hat 7.2 are out there, especially at the kernel level? Yeah. Privilege S. Ooh. It's worse. Hey. That's like having SendMail on display. SendMail.
My guess is that it's probably running everything as root, so those kernel level exploits probably don't matter.
It won't matter because if you're running everything as root, you can just do some cool stuff.
My last gig was working for the government, and actually I just checked. We have at least one Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5 server publicly facing for everyone to use. And this has been known. Actually, they're supposed to firewall it off. I just checked. They haven't.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm just glad that that's not me.
Okay, so it's world readable, or and anyone who is at the institute can get on it essentially. So yeah.
The institute.
I can't say who it is, but it's state. So yes.
So a state in an English-speaking country, Red Hat 5, internet-facing. How much does this narrow down on Shodan?
I'm not a lot. Try that right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
You did kind of bait put yourself into a corner there.
Red Hat 5 going into Shodan.
Oh please! Oh, you'd be surprised. I mean, hell, a previous gig I worked at, they had Windows Server 2000, public facing, no protection because we can't shut it off. We don't know what's gonna do.
I absolutely believe that.
364.
Yeah, so we still, here's the thing, we still have a long way to go before the web, I'm just going to say the web in this instance, is 100% fully cured and secured from, there's still websites that run in Perl right now. Perl 510.
Well,
you're never
gonna...
Perl is still commonly used for a lot of databases.
Yeah, it is. It sure is. 5.9, but for that matter, Perl 5.9. You'd be surprised how much 5.9's out there.
Yeah.
It's like the common shoe size for men with shoes. They always got to wear a size 10. No one damn well don't fit them, but they still want to get a size 10 shoe.
The way I see it for security, as long as we have any degree of freedom in what products to choose and when to patch and control our devices, things are never going to be fully secure.
Nope.
And I think it's a good thing. I prefer a degree of freedom over, what's the way to put it? Someone who is not you having control of your devices. There becomes a point where a third-party corporation or dozens of intermediary corporations or widget vendors having control is only marginally better than some random teenager in Macedonia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, true, but again, you know what? I'll tell you, I love the freedom. I love the freedom of open source, especially. But with that freedom comes a responsibility. And a lot of people, they develop some cool stuff, and they just like, you know what? Screw it. It works for me, and that's it. I'm not supporting this.
Yeah, and no longer further develop.
Of course.
There's a lot of people.
They made their hammer. Let's say anyone else can use your hammer, but not everyone needs a hammer. They need a screwdriver.
It's true.
But yeah,
I'm just happy they gave up on the Linux desktop. Jesus Christ! Remember that whole movement?
Oh yeah.
This year will be the year for Linux on the desktop. Maybe next year.
Well, no. What do you mean they won? We have fucking Linux distros being offered on the fucking Windows Store.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of. But
so what you're saying is Linux is finally on the desktop, but it's on top of Windows.
Exactly. Windows has made a comeback. Hi, Lindos. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the Lindos in Walmart sitting next to my Mandrake CDs when I used to go buy them.
Oh God, Mandrake.
Debian is still okay for the desktop use.
Yeah, I do like Debian.
It's okay.
Only reason I bought it because I wanted to support the Linux Foundation. I'm a huge advocate in trying to support. Sometimes I even donate to Ubuntu. When they say download, I do donate that $1 or a couple of dollars there. Help keep development going because, without those guys, I wouldn't have options. Even though I've become a FreeBSD
junkie.
Yeah, I really have. It's bad.
You want to support the ecosystem.
It's really bad. Like I got DFS. I got and guess what I'm using for programmer editor? JEdit. I'm using JEdit I mean, I'm just I'm all Unixed out. I'm nixed out here. And when my Mac becomes older, guess what that's getting hit with? FreeBSD also.
Yeah. There are efforts, and as far as I can tell, within Silicon Valley to get more attention put on the almost complete lack of funding to an enormous degree of open source projects that underpin a substantial portion of the tech economy. I was reading, but I read a report a few months back from someone who used to work for the Ford Foundation, who, after retiring from that, now works for GitHub, and her main goal right now is, her main mission at GitHub is to find ways to make open source more economically sustainable. And you know, I tweeted out to her expressing a great deal of thanks for all of her efforts, greatly appreciated. But you know, the ecosystem is very much so still a great deal a labor of love. So not all of it is as economically self-sustaining.
Never. Okay.
Next up.
Show. Accomplice to the 2014 Yahoo data breach, sentenced to 5 years.
This was hilarious when I first heard about this, when it broke.
Oh, yeah.
It says, like, which one of the 400 people who broke into Yahoo within the past, within the first half of 2015 got arrested? I don't know.
One.
We found one.
We found the man. Case is over.
And he's not even like one of the main guys. Like, apparently they've narrowed some of the main guys down to 2 main guys out of Russia who work for, I don't remember, one of their ABC organizations.
FSB?
But, yes, I think it is.
I was going to say, if it didn't work for FSB before, he does now.
And I don't know why I found this interesting, but this guy is a Canadian who did get popped. So,
the Canadian who became a Russian citizen?
No, he was just working an accomplice with the Russian guys.
You can always move into
got it.
Snowden's neighborhood.
Yeah.
You just can't trust them ice bags.
Oh man. Brutal.
Gotta love the moose. And a maple leaf. So yeah, what else on this? Yeah, he's been sentenced now to 5 years. It was in here. He made 1.1 million through his assistants and his hacks that he did. And I read somewhere else, I think he had to pay 250 million in retribution. So I think that's what the sentence was from the dollar amount.
Yeah, he's
But
never
it's not
paid it
this
back.
one. No.
You mean restitution?
Yeah, restitution. What'd I say?
Retribution.
Oh, retribution.
Retribution. Even better.
Yeah,
At least,
Yahoo's retribution. You have to fix our system.
yes. Hey, at least I didn't say prostitution. That's a positive.
Now we're getting back to the red light crap.
Yeah. Now we're back
retribution. You're getting to D&D there.
Yeah. Now we're back to the Netherlands.
Yeah. My bad. No, this was funny. This took 5 years for them to figure this took them 4 years to figure out and pin it on one person. It took them 3 years to even figure out that they were breached.
Yes.
Well,
right? So I
it
took them that long to announce it.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much of that process, how much of that time period was spent in the whole MLAT process. Because my understanding, at least for the law enforcement side, is take 6 months, and it can vary quite a bit depending on how much the other nation cares or drags their feet.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello. Howie.
Hello, person.
It's
Hey, person.
How's
Yes,
those?
person.
Hey, person.
Shall I call you person of interest?
Yes.
Hey, that was a good show.
Mr. Laughing Man, person of interest.
That was a good show.
Oh, crap.
I know, that's how.
Give me a
Hey,
minute.
everyone.
The next story, apparently the Reddit user decided to delete his post. So let me see if I have it on my site.
I was sad about that because I tried to look at it and I'm like, oh, this might be good. And then I kind of divulged from the comments what was going on. So I was like, this.
Ah, shoot.
It's like, I like how when I looked at it, it was just, yeah, user has deleted this. And I'm like, okay, figured out. Maybe I shouldn't put this up here.
Okay, let's see if it's still on my Twitter.
Or
Yeah, as most of you guys know, I automatically repost a lot of stuff from a lot of places. And I posted that out on Twitter today. It was a guy asking what the best way was to get into cybercrime on Reddit.
Wait, he was asking what was the best way to get into cybercrime?
Yeah.
Let me guess. Doofus used his real name too.
It was freaking hilarious.
Probably. I'll check.
Man, there's a perfect fucking song for this. Whitey Cracker Computer Crime.
You mean the song isn't I'm a Fed, I'm totally a Fed?
I'm a Fed.
Well, how about
at that point? It just. Sorry, go ahead.
No, how about the title of this? The fastest way to get visited by the Men in Black.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
what I was about to say.
So I got a caption of the first few lines of it. So, how to start a career in cybercrime? Question mark. Hello, I'm in college. I've just got started in cybersecurity a few months ago, and I've been learning a lot. I'm looking at the different career paths, and I think cybercrime would be a good option. How do I get started? And it goes on from there. And then at the very end, he said, what did he say? He said, I understand that I could go into regular business and do cybersecurity, but it seems like there's a lot better money in cybercrime.
Well, I mean, if he's going to college and he's looking to see what kind of career path he's going forward, then he should probably just. The only appropriate response to that is take the Cybercrime 101, the cybercrime track.
Yeah.
If he wants to
I'm
do,
starting to
you know
think it's
what?
the troll.
It probably wasn't a troll, but it was just awesome.
Well, the
you
dude
know what,
is
if he wants to get into it,
that's that shit all the time.
you know what? If he wants to get into cybercrime, I got the best way for him. Tell him to get himself a Twitter account.
I'll be right back.
And once he does that, just take a gun emoji and say, "I'm going to shoot you at Donald Trump."
Oh God.
He's a criminal.
There you go. First cybercrime done. Boom.
Done. Career will be on fleek.
And then one guy did comment, I would start by first joining your local crime space and seeing if you can get involved in the community. In order to be successful, you have to build up your foundation. So get lots of practice with breaking and entering, and then move on to robbing banks. From there, you should be ready to start dropping exploit kits on Alexa top 50 sites and watching your crypto mining malicious ad campaigns bring in the dough.
I would suggest making sure they're always blasting Whitey Cracker's Computer Crime whenever they're doing it. At full blast as they break and enter.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I like the first comment that I'm seeing here. Great bait, mate. Oh, man.
Okay. So, yeah. Don't go into cybercrime.
Yeah, don't. much more lucrative and long and have a longevity of actually being alive, or at least in be able to work in cybersecurity.
There you go.
Or infosec, whatever your poison word for what it is that we do is.
Okay, next up, the breach report. I didn't read a lot into. We have a bank and a broadcasting company. But on our breach report for this week, we have Simplify Financial and Bank of Montreal. Both are Canadian banks that are being blackmailed after an alleged data breach. So, the breach most likely happened, and they're being blackmailed with information from the breach. And that happened on Memorial Day. So, though we have those two, and then we have Canadian Broadcasting Corp was breached within the last week. Recent news, blah, blah, blah. Security breach reinforces an urgent issue for CISO's IT staff worldwide, blah, blah, blah. Canada's oldest existing broadcasting network in Canada and one of the world's major broadcasting organizations operating national radio and television networks in both English and French. So yeah, I've never heard of them, because it's Canada, but apparently they're fairly large.
Yeah, it's basically Kazakhstan PPS and NPR.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Coming from a border city, I'm well acquainted with them. We used to be able to tune in both. Actually, probably still can. I don't know. But if you want the world's most boring TV, it's probably a competition between the CBC and the BBC.
Ah.
Hey, actually, I take that back. The BBC is actually pretty good. But yeah, the BBC is just... I don't know if they don't have a budget for production or what, but boring.
Are you saying that they need their own version of Doctor Who?
Yeah, although I shudder to think what a Canadian version of Doctor Who would be. I mean, there'd be more maple syrup and, moose and beavers and God knows what. Mounties probably, too. Doctor Who would have to be a Mountie.
The TARDIS would have to be a
Dr. Mountie. Dr. Mountie. Dr. Moose.
Isn't the baby's... Go ahead.
The TARDIS would have to be a moose.
Nice.
It's bigger on the inside. Wait, what?
Isn't the BBC the one that had that popular thing that was like 18th century people?
Yeah. Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that was Downton Abbey was on the BBC, but it was I believe it went from either the very late 19th century or early 20th century up through World War II.
Oh, okay.
It was,
yeah.
How does the proper English life react to the most gruesome time of World War II?
Well, they went through World War I first, and then the Depression, and then World War II. So it's all very dramatic.
Oh, my mistake. It's the most rich people going through the worst economical trifles in the world in the 20th century.
And every British series about contemporary life ends after World War II because it's just kind of downhill for the empire from there. Like, oh, look, we lost India. Oh, look, we lost Lebanon, Palestine, whatever, Egypt. It's all going. Even Australia and Canada don't want to be part of us anymore.
Oh, look, we lost America to those fucking terrorists in their goddamn Tea Party.
That was later, but...
I thought it was earlier than that, but we won't get into that.
It was all the...
I have a few English people knocking on my door now. What the hell are you talking about? I heard you talking shit. Come on and fight. There are a few guys that I've met from the UK that probably would do that.
Hey, tell them to go watch some soccer.
Oh God!
Yeah. Thanks. Speaking of that, I had a Dutch friend of mine, and the Dutch are not as big into soccer, but there's still like some soccer goons around. And this guy is like the epitome of a soccer goon. And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy your scarf." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." He was meaning a soccer scarf. And we walk into the store. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy you this scarf." And I'm like, "No, you're not. That's not the team that plays in Arnhem." It's like, "You're not getting me beat up today." And he's like, "Damn it, you figured it out." I'm like, "Nope."
Nice.
I have to wonder how long it would take for everyone to just start flipping shit when the wrong ice stick game team starts rolling around. I should go around wearing a Philadelphia Flyers jersey in England.
You won't get bothered too much.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Oh.
Jack did it. Oh, wait. Well,
no.
Man. Alright. Nightshade, you're like going through a tunnel or something?
I'm driving. I'm driving back from Akers on a farm finally. I'm like somewhere between Indianapolis and Fort Wayne right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just a lot of background noise.
I mean, I'll drop off the stream because I can't do anything more to mitigate it.
Yeah.
So, actually, I'm going to have to add something to the show notes, which is brushing up on web applications, because I'd rather do that next week when I've had the opportunity to brush up on web applications, because I really bombed an interview today.
Add it to the show notes for next week.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. And speaking of the show notes, for the gamers, school shooting simulator removed from Steam. Figure this be down away. Cappy's. Have at it.
Oh, I'll let Caprico talk about it.
Oh, I need to quick skim it real fast.
Wait. So who added this?
I added it.
Okay.
Okay, so like briefly. Okay, so I understand from the title at least. This shouldn't be on Steam? Question mark.
Okay, so
there is a freedom of speech, but there's also a sector of the game development community, and also called propaganda games, which that really doesn't fall under this, right? Yeah, I don't know how to handle it. Steam, I'm usually on board with whatever Steam is good with, except when someone puts a paint drying game and then hires the dude. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Damn it! There was a paint drying game.
Yeah,
I could have created that.
You literally, like, no, that is actually an interesting story as well, but I'll get to it afterward. I skimmed through this real fast.
So the people are getting outraged with because Steam removed it because it's, the idea is it's a school shooting simulator. Oh no, they didn't remove it because of that. They've actually had some stuff in there that's pretty freaking distasteful. I mean, yeah, granted they should be able to do this, but the reason they removed it is because the developer is known for doing asset flipping. What asset flipping is they basically take like simple little assets made in like Unity or whatever. This guy did a lot of stuff in Unity. They'll take it, repackage it as their game, and sell it for a few bucks. And this guy did it a lot. He actually made a game called Pickled Rick, which got pulled off of there. It was basically a stolen Unity model of like Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty. He made a couple games like that were that way, and he got banned from there actually more than once. So he was kicked off of there. I got actually a link to a Polygon article and a Reddit article. I'll put it here.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because the way that the Unity, thank you for that Polygon article, the way that Unity works with their asset store, GPDR, just having to click everything. Yes, I accept your privacy policy. Just leave me alone. Probably shouldn't have yelled that loud. The way that it works is you can get, or what asset flipping, from what I understand it, is you can get
what you do is you download an asset from the asset store. That asset is now on your local machine. You can then modify it in any program. Let's say it's just a 3D model. Let's say it's the Pickle Rick model that we're talking about. You can then modify that to just a little bit, so that technically is like, yeah, I made this. It's not the exact same thing. Blah, blah, blah. And then you can say that this is your thing. That credit then doesn't go towards the actual creator of the Unity asset or the whatever asset it is that you got it from, or whatever engine you're using. And a lot of those is they don't make money, or a lot of people sell models on the Unity asset store, and also various things, from things to particle effects to full scale like building structures and modular kits and stuff like that.
Also stuff like full scale plugins for things like visual scripting and stuff like that. This is actually kind of where my specialty is, in that so Unity 3D has a lot of these assets that are there to make the game dev's life easier. The point is, you can buy them or download them and use them in proprietary games if you feel like it. That's the whole point of them being there. The problem isn't so much using the assets, so much as it is only downloading a couple assets and then making a basic game, and then saying, "Oh, look at me! I made a game," and putting it on Steam.
Yeah, that's what this guy was doing, and he was charging like $2 or $3 for them, because it's a cheap little game. You can do it direct with Steam Direct, and Steam actually explicitly says, no, you cannot do this. Asset flipping is against our terms of service. So he was banned at least once, if not twice, for it. And he came back under different names. And they found out this was doing this under a new name, so they banned him again for it.
Somebody at one point tried to put a game on Steam Greenlight called 9/11 Simulator.
Oh my
God.
Yeah, there's been multiple like horror, like truly distasteful, to use that terminology, games on Steam, and Steam's like, yeah, as long as I'm on their terms of service, we don't care, and realistically, they shouldn't.
I remember back in the 90s, 1990s, on early Newgrounds, after Columbine, there was a rush of games people were making, trying to do simulators, school shooting simulators. What I saw was a lot of that were people partially was coping with the constant scapegoating from the media, saying, look, we can play the most heinous of games and we're going to do nothing.
Yeah.
Or some people saying they wanted to explore, how a student, how students could best defend themselves against a school shooter. And, it was just, but the main thing was mainly a method of coping with being scapegoated. So when I saw Polygon's article, or at least the headline, because I'm not going to give them a fucking click, it really, it brought me back to those days. And I'm okay with Valve banning the guy for asset flipping. I would not be okay for banning him for making a distasteful game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for someone who right now is working on, from my background into this, I'm building a game with about 26 individuals, including myself, where I'm managing it, and a lot of it comes down to we're making all of our own assets, because that's one part of the requirements that we have for our school. But I can see how if you do this asset flipping stuff, it can get very quickly out of hand. Just I don't know. And my tip for people that are getting into game design, start very small in what you want to do. You may not need assets from the game store. You might not need full AAA style looking models and stuff like that to make a game actually work. Making something that's even just
double A or single A.
Not even that. Not even that. Just making something that is a box that runs around and interacts with objects. That's enough for you to start, so that you can get your foot in the door.
You mean like Pokemon?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
let's think about this. Like the core. I always go. One of the things that we always started with was how Mario Brothers started. It's like, think about Mario. At its core values, or at the core of the game, you have running, jumping, and the screen moves to the right, and you can't go back to the left. Those are the 4 things that you need. And there's a ton of games that have just taken out some of those features, and they've made great games. Like there's an always running. There's a Speedrunners is one game where it's literally based on that same kind of model, except you can move left and right, and you're in a closed box, and you just have to keep moving. So it's just start small. You don't need to have a ton of assets. The game doesn't need to look good. It needs to. People don't play games because they look good, and if they, well, okay, some people do play games because they look good, but for great games, for games that people will remember and be like, oh yeah, that was a great game to play, they're always looking at how the actual game feels when they're playing it, making sure that the objective is and the challenges are distributed in a way that makes them want to keep playing it. And
Devil's Advocate, Stanley Parable.
Stanley
Super
Parable
Meat
is
Boy.
Stanley Parable, Super Meat Boy, those are all great games.
And that's something we see now. We've got,
For those listening who don't know what it is, it's pretty much there's no real gameplay. You just walk around, and the narrator takes you to various scenarios, which can be increasingly over the top. It's a game making fun of a lot of literary tropes. It's very well executed. There's very little gameplay, but it's typically considered a really good game.
Hey, I still like N64 007 multiplayer.
Well, okay, so we're in an era where we've got hardware that can do realistic 3D and all this stuff, and yet games like Stardew Valley and Undertale, which are 2D sprite games, hugely popular because again they qualify that the good gameplay before graphics. So yeah, you don't need to do asset flipping to make a game. You just make a good game. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Hang on. There's something I have to point out. GoldenEye Source.
Yeah. GoldenEye Source is a thing, so now you can play GoldenEye on your modern machine in the Source engine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just linked you in the chat.
Nice.
Irongeek Cast Game Day?
Yeah.
Dude, we can do it.
Yeah, I mean, Valve remade a bunch of their old games, like Half-Life and such, on the Source engine, take advantage of better graphics. Actually, that started the Black Mesa project. Was meant to be a reboot of Half-Life, but Valve said, "Oh no, we'll do this instead." And yeah,
they hired, I think, the guys that made Black Mesa.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's their model for everything, and also Paradox Studios is doing that as well, where they're hiring everyone that works on mods for their games.
So is Bohemian Interactive as well.
Nice.
That reminds me, since Comrade Evie is in the chat, has anyone seen the new Pokemon release or Pokemon announcement?
No.
Yeah, a coworker posted something about it.
I stopped paying attention to Pokemon after they passed 151. So, yeah, no.
Dude, it's a remake of Pokemon Yellow with Nintendo Switch and Pokemon Go integration.
Ooh.
No. Gosh. Pokemon Go is its own thing. It really does not need to have more of that.
Oh, come on. It's cool and you know it.
No, it's not.
No.
It was a nice gimmick that died down after its initial humongous hype.
Well,
after the feds got the GPS of every building that everybody ever touched.
Well, I mean, it's not just the feds when they're commercially selling everyone's.
Well, okay, so to give information there was a game made by the same company as Pokemon Go called Ingress.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that came before Pokemon Go.
Right, yeah. that was actually the basis for a lot of the Poke Centers and such in Pokemon Go, was the map data from Ingress. So if you played Ingress, congratulations, you contributed to Pokemon Go.
But they're also coming out with an Ingress too.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, buddy of mine was showing me Ingress, and I was like, this is actually really cool.
Huh. It is really cool. That's just it. I mean, games like that are the future. And I mean, as much as us and Infos are like privacy, and admittedly, let's face it, we do have a point. The problem is the next generation of games are going to be on headsets which gather LiDAR of everything around you. So, I mean, from a realistic perspective,
there's a difference between... So you go ahead. You finish first.
We have a lot of new privacy concerns to handle just from the gaming sector alone. And when people say, oh, something is just content swapping, yet you can pull down camera feeds and microphone feeds and all that stuff, people don't know where the fuck the tech is going. And looking at it, it's like, mother of God.
Well, yeah, is it going to stay on screen, or the majority move to a VR environment, or move to augmented environment, like a Google Glass type of thing? Or
I would say it's moving to augmented reality or AR, especially with the phone or with. Has anyone seen Google's new keynote about Google Maps, where they have?
I have not.
Okay, they've essentially incorporated augmented reality in Google Maps, and I don't know if this is released yet or when it's being released, if it's not released yet. But you know how when you have a route on your phone and you're constantly looking at your phone, looking at the route, and like turning left and right to see if you're going the right direction, because it correlates the position of the direction of the phone to the direction that you're heading.
Yeah, every phone we have has a built-in compass.
Right. So now what they've done is they give you a visualized route through your camera through the app. So you see like a little blue line or like a blue route that you can follow while putting up your phone and seeing, oh, I need to go down this street, and it literally draws a line down the street using your camera. So if we move to like headsets and stuff like that, or any sort of like virtual reality kind of stuff like that, it might be a fun venture to start looking into VR security and augmented reality security. Just maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, Owie.
Yeah?
I thought I'd become one of those deaf mutes.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, buddy. I had to hack your eyes. Bam!
Only hobos will see the truth.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, that reminds me. Here's something comical. The Augmented World Expo, which is the big augmented reality conference it's basically their CES. They had an augmented reality security talk today that amounted to nothing more than, here's some basic attack surfaces, buy our consulting.
Awesome.
Of course.
Vendor talk.
That does a lot of good.
Yes, it does. I saw that and I was like, what? What the fuck are they doing? It gets worse. I did some OSINT on these people. It was hell hunting down the company, but when I finally I did some OSINT. Only like 1 or 2 people were on LinkedIn, and they had no security background at all.
Of course not, because it seems like a good idea, and they're going to pay us to do nothing because it's not there yet. Our technology isn't there yet, so we're going to bluff our way through this.
Interesting.
Charlatans.
Bum bum bum.
What? I mean, Microsoft bluffed their way through IBM to give them an OS that they didn't have.
Yeah. The good old days.
I have a feeling at least certain consulting firms would eat them alive if they caught wind of them. IO active Leviathan.
Excuse you. Okay, next on the show notes. Oh yeah, GDPR is here. We forgot to mention it. We mentioned it. Next.
Excuse me, sir. That reminds me. Have you seen the new Irongeek cast privacy policy?
Yeah.
Privacy policy. Yeah, we mentioned it.
13 to listen. And that's it.
Only 13? My gosh. It's unfortunately I'm in a restaurant, so I'm not exactly getting to say anything that's going to say in response to that. But I'm sure you can pick.
Out. Yell it to the world.
I prefer not to be kicked out.
I'm looking around for some 5.56 ammunition. I thought I left it in my living room, but I don't see it.
Maybe some of your ammo.
It's really not like GDPR.
We're done with GDPR. Every other web podcast out there is drowned into the dirt. That's it.
Okay, Hackers.com farm review, which actually applies to what I was just doing since I was trying to find my ammo to replenish the ones that we shot, because we shot 4 magazines out of that AR-15. So
oh yeah, the AR-15 was fun.
Yeah, so I know I should have more rounds around here someplace. I just don't know what I did with them.
Here's your privacy policy.
Don't worry, you'll find it when you least expect it.
But anyway, Hackers on a Farm was fun. First day, basically, we show up, we hang out, we eat, what was it, duck, chicken, and rabbit?
Yeah.
And Mary's preparing the lamb for the next day. Next day, we get the lamb in the pit. And what lamb was left was very good, but we burnt the backstrap, which I'm told is supposed to be one of the better parts, but apparently it got a little bit
crispy.
Yeah, over hot heat. We probably dig that pit deeper, but do something to raise the, I don't know.
Well, you guys did a hog in that pit last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a hog last year.
And a hog should have been about the same size.
The hog, I think, was a lot heavier, a lot fattier.
Yeah, that's true.
Hogs are going to be... Also, the skin's going to be a little tougher, so it can take a little bit more heat.
Yeah, the lamb apparently, Mary says it was overcooked. Probably it was great, but she said it was part of it that, just got overdone. Then that night, we ended up shooting AR-15s and AK-47s at Tannerite. That live beef was bought for us.
I had never heard of Tannerite before then. Never in my life have I ever heard of that before.
Just be careful. Do not carry it mixed. It's considered transporting an explosive.
No,
do not
really?
Mix it. Seriously, people do this all the damn time.
He flew home with it on the plane. That was perfectly fine.
If it's separated, it's fine.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Words.
I don't know people whose car we mixed it on the back of.
I'm sorry. Did you just say someone was suicidal?
Oh no.
Because it sounded pretty much like you just said someone wanted to die a horrible death.
No,
from a very high elevation.
No,
I hope I heard you wrong.
Just get free fill-ups from the TSA.
Yeah, which reminds me, one of the person's cars who he's mixed it on in the back now has little bits of ammonium nitrate all over the back of his car. So I wonder if surely that's something the dogs can sniff if he ever has to go on that military base in I don't know.
Where he works.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mary got a little pissed at us because apparently there was some miscommunication about Mark was going to teach a class, but then we had the Tannerite, but we couldn't use the Tannerite at the range that she got for us, and we couldn't use it in her backyard. So
apparently, Mark was going to teach a class on gun safety and gun handling, which would have apparently worked very well with what we were planning on doing later that day. I think that's probably compounds why she was kind of pissed. I had no idea that was going to happen, or else I would have insisted on staying just for the talk.
And I just knew Grady had a range we could go to, or a place we could go to go blow up your Tannerite, and you couldn't get the Tannerite. It's not like you could take it home with you.
Yeah.
No. If it had any left over, I would have left it at Mary's.
But we got to teach live beef how to shoot an AK and an AR-15.
Yep.
Oh, good on you, dude. Awesome. I hope you had a better time with an AK than I did with my first AK. That thing literally blistered my hands. It was so hot.
Really?
I don't know what you.
I had a great time.
No,
what'd you do? Take about 1,000 rounds through?
No, what wound up happening was I was at some place that was.
It was a semi-auto, not a fully auto.
No, the one I was using was a fully auto. It was a gold AK at some place in Vegas, and what wound up happening was they had pretty much everyone and their mother using it. I get there, and it's hot as hell in my hand to the point which it's blistering my hand. I fire my rounds like, we're taking this off the range.
Yeah, full auto rental, I can see that. Mine, semi-auto, so he's not going to get that much. Obviously, Commander Evie likes the AK because of her logo there.
I actually don't own any weapons.
Not even a blunderbuss? I thought you were in the Pirates.
No.
No, like VP or something?
Wait, what?
Rapier, or like I'm thinking of swords and weapons that a pirate would have.
A cutlass.
Yes.
Rapier.
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 We don't know how it's pronounced. We just know it's the one that pirates use.
Well,
no, a rapier is the one that French guys use. Pirates use cutlasses or falcons usually.
Pirates, I'm pretty sure had rapiers also, at least according to Sid Meier's Pirates game, which I played in the late '80s.
Fair point.
But yeah, the AK was fun, but I think we mostly shot the AR-15. We had pretty good accuracy with that. It took Live Beef and me about 5 shots before we could zero in on the Tannerite. Grady, who I think is generally a better shot, he kept moving the Tannerite. He kept shooting it, and once set it off, it would move the canister it was in.
He actually shot the top off of it.
Yeah. But,
canister.
Whatever.
Nice.
It was funny, too, because he shot the top off, but it was still sitting in just a perfect position where if he put the bullet straight through the top of the canister, there was still enough to get in and blow it up. Which he did.
Very nice. I need to go shooting when I get back in the States.
Yeah.
Dude, you do. It's fun.
You over in that repressive country.
It's not repressive. It's kind of depressive.
Where are the states you're coming back to?
Huh? Sorry?
Where in the states are you coming back to?
Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
You'll be good.
Whoever gives him money.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Wherever I get hired, maybe.
Hey, this YouTube streamer I know who lives in a Minnesota area, and he lives in like the great what is it? The Twin Cities area.
Yeah. I'll probably be getting a job in the Twin Cities area because that's where most of the security firms are based out of, since that's the central area. Or that's a big metro. That's the only large metropolitan area, or at least the largest metropolitan area. So there's a lot of businesses that are either headquartered there or just like a half hour to 45-minute drive.
Why not any other city in the United States? Why not any other city in the United States?
For me personally, or just
because Mama lives there.
I'm next in line for guardianship on one of my siblings, so I need to possibly be around. I'm not expecting anything to happen, but just being close.
Gotcha.
To things is nice, but maybe for a couple of years I'll move around. I actually just figured out that I'm probably going to be graduating from my undergrad, or finishing my undergrad while I'm still over here in Europe. Because the administration screwed up and I can't take any classes next semester because I've taken all of them already.
Nice.
So I'm going to be taking 2 online courses and 1 course that the professor was gracious enough to be willing to help me out with so that I could actually graduate by the time I get back into the States, or like a week after I get back into the States or so. So that's gonna be a lot of work. So no, not a lot of fun time for Nate. I have like a week of that I don't have classes, and then I'm straight back into it.
Cool.
Oh no.
Yeah, right now my family's all dead, so my brother, I can pretty much move any place. But I have a house, and I've had this house for like 18 years or so. No, 17 years, and I'm like,
Nice. Yeah, I am. I don't know if I should even say this on stream. I am looking for employment opportunities places because I want to finish my undergrad and get into industry, and then finish my master's while I'm doing that, so I can at least get my foot in the door early and make sure that so I don't get stuck in an academia track like I see a lot of master students getting stuck in.
And you want to stay in the security field, right?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And getting involved in the industry will help inform what you're going to do while you're getting your master's.
So Caprico, one thing I suggest you do, go to like the local conferences and just start boozing with the executives and the hiring managers and shit.
Oh yeah.
I have found most of my best contacts is when I make friends with an exec or when I make friends with a hiring manager.
Yeah, there was I went to a cybersecurity summit in Minneapolis this past year, and I ended up meeting one guy who was what is his title? I remember. I'm gonna look it up real quick. He works for CenturyLink, and he and I got to talking, and I didn't realize he was one of
CenturyLink.
Yeah.
What's it? Cyber Warrior Elite Hacks Result 1337.
Nay.
Did he have ASL in his profile?
No. I don't even know if I'm.
Anyone who uses cyber these days is either a Fed, someone who's in the with never in hacker culture, but just started out in commercial industry, or is probably over the age of 50.
No. Wait a second. What if I'm using cyber and the phrase cyberpunk is fuck?
That is an exception. Cyberpunk is an exception. That's one of the very, very few exceptions, but it is an exception.
Linked him in chat.
I don't know this guy, but he's a second, and
you know him through our mutual connection.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think. Wait.
Yeah, I know who he's connected to. I see him.
Yeah, he's a second to me too. I have 9 mutual connections to him.
No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mutuals.
I have 1, and you probably know him through my connection to the to one of my professors. So
I feel like there's a lot of connecting occurring right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, there is a connection I have that you have that I'm not sure if you have on LinkedIn, but I know you know him.
Oh yeah. The one that we've yeah.
He's a glorious shit poster.
I have to say, this entire conversation sounds extremely stupid. And I would have to say, some variant of get a room is the only appropriate response.
All right, back to Hackers on a Fob.
Yeah, sorry.
Right,
yes, please.
Okay.
After the Tannerite night, which was also fun, come back and drink a little stuff. I know some Johnny Blue label was provided by Liz. I bought a bunch of Maker's Mark and some meads and sat around a campfire and BS and had a good time. Next day, we actually did
Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve, yes. Well, thank you for that.
Yum.
That was good too. But yeah, I can tell the difference between the Johnny Walker Blue Label and the Woodford Reserve because one's a mead and one mead. Shit, fuck. One is a Scotch and one is a bourbon.
Yes.
But when you get a bourbon to a certain degree, I have a hard time telling bourbons apart.
Okay.
I'm not. My palate is not that refined, but it was good. Thank you much. Then we went out and the next day we did some shooting at a more official range. So we already shot off the AK and AR-15, and Mark was out there, but he already has shot all that stuff before. We broke out my various pistols. We broke out my M1 carbine, which is dirty as hell and needs good cleaning. It wasn't feeding proper. Then we shot the shotguns, which was kind of fun. Personally, I like shooting the TAC-4. I don't know. Libby, if you're new to it, what pistol did you like best on the range, and which long arm did you like best on the range?
Well, I mean, if we're going to go by pistol, I would probably say the Glock was the easiest, probably most comfortable to fire. From what was long range, to be entirely honest, I would probably say the AR is probably my favorite. Although the M1 was nice.
Yeah,
also the 44 Magnum, that was one heck of a kickback, but
yeah, that hurt the shit, man.
That was something else. So yeah.
Yeah, we were standing directly behind you, and before you started shooting live beef, we moved just in case.
Yeah, for those not listening, the only thing I had fired before I went to the shooting range that day was a BB gun. So I went from BB gun to 44 Magnum. So in 1 day, 2 days.
So I just want to make sure whenever you fired, that thing didn't go boom and woo.
I kept a good grip on it. I kept a really good grip on that thing.
You did. I was surprised and thankful.
And I'm thankful as well.
Beef, welcome to the having shot a gun club.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
a
like
real gun club.
It's literally the gun that Dirty Harry has in the Dirty Harry movies from the 70s.
Yep.
I think it's got a longer barrel. It's a Model 28 Smith & Wesson, I believe is the name designation.
It's 629, I think. Yeah, sounds right.
Looks like Mark's no longer on here. He'd know better than I do, but I don't see Mark. That was fun. Then that night, we got a little bit of a late start to go camping. The idea was that hike. All right, there was some planning here. Very originally, I wasn't going to unpack my laptop backpack. She wanted me to wear some Divicon backpacks to hike my stuff in. That was infeasible because I couldn't fit in one because I'm too big. Even if I wasn't fat, my shoulders were just too big, and not real. And so we ended up using my laptop backpack. Still uncomfortable. So, we didn't go the 5 mile hike in. We did a 2.5 mile hike in and stopped. But by the time we stopped, we were all done and it was getting dark. So we set up tents and I don't know. I did enjoy I appreciate Mary's effort to give us a good experience, but I did not have a good time on that part because I slept. Well, I didn't sleep at all, and I was wet and on the ground, and I just wasn't a happy camper, so to speak. So I got out there pretty early the next day.
Did you have any kind of some kind of padding under your sleeping bag at all?
No, I didn't have no padding underneath it. No.
Oh gosh, yeah. I only slept once like that. And there's only one night. Like it was a few years back, and the only way I could do that was because I was completely hammered. I would not be able to go to sleep normally without some kind of padding.
I have these weird bumps now. Also, like I don't know if it's poison ivy or what. The funny thing is, the bumps are places where I probably shouldn't have touched poison ivy.
Are you sure they're not ticks?
Maybe there's not a tick there now. Maybe it's a tick that bit me and then decided I tasted bad and fell off.
What about chiggers?
Yeah, it could have been chiggers.
Some of it does.
Aren't chiggers really, really tiny?
Yes.
They get probably the skin and kind of embed themselves.
Chiggers are annoying little bastards.
Oh yeah.
Basically, most of the place I have those little wounds is wherever I was damp. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So chiggers live in pools of water or any sort of like body of water or anywhere that's wet, literally anywhere. And they're so small that you can't see them and you'll get out of the, like we have a ton of them up in Minnesota because we have all of the lakes. So if you walk into a lake or a river and there's chiggers in there, you're walking out with just like a million sores on your legs.
Yeah, we'll see here, like, at least in Indiana, I've never had chiggers in Ohio, thankfully, because I'm older and I don't sit in the grass anymore. But whenever I used to be a kid playing out in the grass, I'd come in and I'd have them on my legs and arms just from being in the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here in the South. They're all in the grass. So you walk out in the grass barefoot like that. Yeah, I do my backyard. And I got bumps on my feet. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I got something like that once where I had to get a cream that took them out.
We probably would have been a little bit easier if we we actually had the horses that day. So we initially had for those listening, we initially had a friend of Mary's, Paint 27s was I was going to lend us some horses to carry some of our supplies ahead. So the hike would have been much lighter on us.
Yes,
but due to various reasons, one among which was it was a lot warmer than expected, and the horses were overheated. They were not able to have the horses come ahead, so we were carrying all the supplies ourselves, which was probably a significant reason as to why we only made it to the 2.5 mile mark rather than the 5 mile mark.
Yeah, and it was between 90 and 95 degrees. It was smoking hot.
Yeah, I just got well hydrated. I know I had a great time regardless. It sounded like I was probably the only one, but I had a great time.
I had a good time. I'm not discounting having a good time at all.
You had a great time up
hike in and hike out. That was a bear.
What was a bear?
The hike.
I like the hike. I like the hike personally. That was because I also try to look for opportunities to exercise, really get out there. And I was well hydrated, and I was able to get some sleep at night. So Yeah.
Liz, I'm just glad you had fun.
Exactly.
I had a great time.
And got to shoot guns.
I tasted many new foods. Two of which are the kind that they don't tell you until it's in your mouth. I am sure that a number of people here can imagine what kind of food that is, and the two is the same type of food, just different animals.
Oh, I could name them.
You can, but I won't. No, trash stuff. I ate pigeon. I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah, pigeon wasn't bad.
The pigeon was pretty good. I thought it was very interesting taste. Very different kind of poultry.
Yeah.
So,
I'm surprised how much meat that was. Really impressive.
Hey, Liz.
Yeah.
Provided I got a job by DEF CON, you want to go shoot some shit?
In Vegas?
Hell
sure.
Yeah.
And wait, you guys never tried squab before?
I don't think
What is squab?
Pigeon.
No, I have never tried trash stuff before.
That's what we did Mary's dumplings, right?
Time.
Mary's pot sticker thingies?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
she made,
barely
like-
adventurous.
Well, I mean, normally you can't just catch a pigeon and eat it unless you want to get deathly ill and die.
Yeah, fair point.
True, you should cook it first.
Yeah.
That too, but also because pigeons are just flying rats normally.
Actually, rats are very clean. I had pet rats.
Yeah, and then she ate them.
No, I did
Okay,
not.
the difference between pet rats and rats that live on the streets. Just a little. Also, I don't want to know why anyone would get a pet rat because they die so soon. By the time they're in your heart, they're gone.
And
Yeah, I
once
know,
you feed them
that's-
to the snake.
No. You don't feed live because that can actually like mess up your very expensive snake.
Ah.
Yeah. So in the wild, if the snake misses their strike, the rat runs away, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now imagine in like a tank where it's cornered and the snake misses. That rat's gonna fight.
Ah.
And
What about
probably
a
kill
pinky?
your snake.
They can and will kill your snake.
Then feed them pinkies.
Yeah, just give the rat some ambient first. It'll have racial undertones, but it'll go out easy.
Wow.
I'm not sure if they'll tweet anything out first, but
Too soon.
Oh,
No,
come
it's
on,
not-
never too soon for that shit.
never seen enough for that shit.
How the fuck did she think that there was any way she could blame Ambien for being a racist prick?
Well, I mean, who was
Well,
that? Other side of that?
when you're losing everything, it's called a kitchen sink.
What'd you say, Adrian?
Who is that one? Joyce something. He's
Dorian Reed.
Dorian Reed. She was trying to make up all sorts of excuses for the shit she said about gay men on her blog. It said, I don't remember saying it. I don't think I said it. No, you said it. Hackers may have did it. No, bullshit. You wrote it.
Uh-huh.
It's bullshit.
It's not even something that would offend me, but I'm just saying because I do have since I'm attracted to Lauren Southern, I obviously have some bisexual tendencies. But, but I don't think it was all that bad. But man, she just totally spun a lot of bullshit to cover for it, which made me respect her even less.
I'm gonna say this right now. As much as certain elements get on my fucking nerves because they've lost their goddamn minds, one thing certain elements do have right is that racism and bigotry is intolerable, period. I can't fucking tolerate that shit.
Good.
You mean you don't think the Jews run the world? I mean, we do have weather control machines, but that's kind of like common knowledge, right?
Oh, come on. We all know that Jews have
That's called chemtrails.
HARP and chemtrails.
No. Chemtrails is for brainwashing. I'm talking about controlling hurricanes.
Oh, that's HARP, isn't that? That's HARP.
Yes,
No,
angels don't play harp.
Harp is just trying to summon Cthulhu.
Exactly.
That's not us.
EA Cthulhu photography.
You're a Jewish, Evie?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I like you even more now.
So what is the tie between being Jewish and a furry? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, where did that come from? I saw that earlier.
Exposed.
I'm just saying, it's a connection.
Yeah, Liz. So if you could expound on that for us.
Complete coincidence, or alternatively, if there was a coincidence, it would probably be a sheep or a goat, which I don't think either of us are.
Oh, so you don't have direct experience with this that you're Jewish. I just wanted to make sure.
I am not aware of a Jewish connection to EVs in specific. No, other than Comrade Evie here. Maybe there's a part of the Torah I missed, but could you fill me in on there, Evie?
Yeah, I don't know how this happened.
You just woke up one day and you had an Eevee tail and Eevee ears, and it was an animatronic Eevee ears, and then you just rolled with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, the true story of how I came up with the whole Comrade Eevee thing was I found a 1950s era Soviet beret with badges on it at like a Goodwill, and I was like, I need this. So I ended up buying it. I put it on my very, very counterfeit Eevee one of my friends gave me as a gift. And yeah, it just sort of snowballed from there.
Can you send a picture of that Eevee with the Comrade hat on?
You've seen it.
I know, but I'm not sure if everyone else has seen it.
God fucking damn it. Sorry.
So first, you should apologize to the Lord for saying his name in vain. Second, I think probably a better explanation, Adrian, is that there's a lot of hackers among Jews, and I guess among Jews are furries. So I guess some more sort of cross section.
I am not a furry.
Whatever you say, Miss Evie. But yes.
She's not that Evie.
I guess Evie's just your power animal.
Well, I guess Evie is not technically humanoid enough to really be counted as furry.
There's a furry spectrum for that, for totally non-anthropomorphic. There is.
Feral?
I will take your word on that because I don't really go that far.
Completely scary as shit.
Okay, but can we all agree other kin are fucking weird?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Stuff from all day. Who else has thoughts on Hackers on the Farm? I'm definitely looking forward to Hackers on Farm 4, but I am not. If I'm camping any place, I'm gonna bring a real backpack and I'm going to, not hike that far.
If you're camping any place, then you'll be riding on the horse ahead, or the pony ahead.
That poor horse.
Hang on though. Is the horse amazing? Have you given it a lick? Does it taste just like raisins?
I'm pretty sure.
How we know?
Sure, why not?
Oh God, the spectrum is so right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I found it. Here, guys. I guess I gotta upload it to Imager.
Or share your screen.
No, I have too much shit open, and you'll just be like, "There's too many tabs."
It's a lot of furry stuff, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's not a bunch of furry stuff.
It's probably JavaScript.
Is it porn?
It's not porn.
It's got to be JavaScript.
It's furries, isn't it?
Not furry, semi-furry, furry, very furry. Oh shit! What are you doing?
It's okay, Evie. It's only for you. For only you, all of us, and all of YouTube to know. It's only just between you and the entire world.
How many people do we have watching? 5.
5 right now.
Here is.
And I'm one of them.
The original Comrade Eevee.
Yes, that beautiful Eevee.
Okay, dope.
Yeah, because right now we're in like the bullshitting phase, so.
Well,
occasionally.
We have one more on here, postmediocrity.org, that doesn't go anywhere, so I think Adrian probably added it. I don't know.
Oh, yes, the Postmeritocracy.
Go anywhere?
Correct. At least not on my side.
It does for me.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe let's finish up the let's finish up what's on our what's up for today's podcast before we can continue bullshitting.
All right. Well, I found this thing. Someone started a Postmeritocracy, a parody Twitter account, which is pretty funny. But some people started this whole Postmeritocracy thing, saying somehow meritocracy excludes marginalized people, and it seems to have a bunch of tenets that are I'll read a couple paragraphs. Meritocracy is a founding principle of the open source movement, and the ideal of meritocracy is perpetrated throughout our field in the way people are recruited, hired, retained, promoted, and valued. But meritocracy has consistently shown itself to mainly benefit those with privilege to the exclusion of underrepresented people in technology. Citation, please. The idea of merit is in fact never clearly defined. Rather, it seems to be a form of recognition and acknowledgement that this person is valuable insofar as they are like me. Valuable insofar as they actually get results. If you are not familiar with the criticism of meritocracy, please refer to this resource here. So far, someplace with a lot of whining. It is time that we as an industry abandon the notion of merit is something that can be measured, can be pursued on equal terms by every individual, and can be distributed fairly. What does post-meritocracy look like? It is founded on a core set of values and principles and information of belonging that applies to everyone who engages in the practice of software development.
Oh, good. So if you're not a software developer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm noticing people. And looking at one of the people, this person tried to, Carolyn Ada Emick, I don't know how to pronounce their name, tried to harass someone out of software development of a certain project just because she didn't like what they said on some Twitter post, which actually was pretty empathetic. I don't know, looking at just some of the points, we do not have to believe our values as human beings is intrinsically tied to our value as knowledge workers. Maybe not as human beings, but as a technologist and someone's going to be useful for a project, it kind of is. Our professions do not define us. We are more than the work we do. Okay, that's fine. Go do that other stuff. But when it comes to actually writing code and getting projects done, that's kind of the work you do. We believe that interpersonal skills are at least as important as technical skills. Man, if someone has absolutely no interpersonal skills, yeah, I'd have a problem with that. But in the end of the day, if the guy's a bit of an asshole, but they get the job done, the technical skills matter more to me.
Yeah, lock them away in a room and let them do their thing.
Uh-oh, here we go.
As long as they document it, because you don't want them to be irreplaceable and then have them get in a car accident and no one can really pick up their shit.
And yeah, so have a secondary code review.
So they have a ton more things on here. Has anybody actually read through the list? I did a while back, but
No, I just kind of listened to a podcast from Cory Doctorow a while back on his big lecture as to why meritocracy is a fallacy. And so now I got the perspective on the anti-meritocracy side. I kind of figure all the arguments are probably going to be along the same genre.
Yeah, Cory Doctorow, I'm just not a big fan of. I remember listening to an audiobook of his Little Brother. And it reminds me a lot of Ayn Rand in the opposite political spectrum in some ways. Because every character was so one-dimensional and was only there to espouse his political belief system, which is pretty much what Robert A. Heinlein does. At least Robert A. Heinlein's characters are more interesting.
I don't disagree with you.
So, early 2000s, I just spent a lot of time on Freenode. People were, anytime Cory Doctorow was mentioned, it was in kind of reverent tone. So I kind of grew up thinking of Cory Doctorow as some reverent figure. And so it just feels I just feel a bit put off by the modern Cory Doctorow, who's kind of like a raging bull who just, he wants more red capes to charge at. That's kind of his whole thing, is charging at red capes. And in this case, in the context of meritocracy, his big argument against it was this cartoonishly extremist definition of meritocracy, which was a society which was hyper optimized to eliminate all humanity, and the only thing that it was pretty much the hyper utilitarian society, where if you didn't fulfill a utility, you were worthless and should be thrown out. and thinking, I don't recall open source ever being so cartoonishly extreme.
Yeah, in some ways
that was his primary argument against meritocracy.
He reminded me of in writing of like Ayn Rand in some ways, but the opposite end of the spectrum. But still, both people have characters that just seem one-dimensional.
Well, let's say he was opposite of Ayn Rand would kind of imply he was pushing specifically for mainstream partisan left-wing or views, where as opposed to kind of more so tech left-wing views.
Okay.
I mean, I absolutely see what you're saying. The style is very reminiscent of Ayn Rand, but in terms of trying to be the left-wing alter ego to Ayn Rand, he's not mainstream enough for that.
Okay, I can see that.
I disagree that he's not mainstream enough for that, because even my normie friends know who Cory Doctorow is. As far as being like left-wing Ayn Rand, like, what is the opposite of objectivism? Like, that's like I disagree with everything about objectivism as a whole, because I think it's absolute cancer, but like, what would actually be the opposite of it? Would it just be actually caring about people and being altruistic?
I would say parasitically altruistic to the point where you sacrifice the good of everybody, or you sacrifice actual personal individuality for the sake of the collective, to the point where even the collective probably isn't going to do that well.
That actually makes sense.
Now, I don't know what you'd call that particular moral and political philosophy, but...
So does their website do absolutely nothing? The entire purpose is just to post the manifesto and people to sign, yeah, I agree with it?
As far as I know, yeah.
What a waste of an IP.
I don't know. I have doesn't need a blockchain.info.
And the worst part is, it doesn't need a blockchain ever.
Yeah. It just says no.
Oh, it's not on the blockchain. It's not legitimate.
So I got some good news, though, of all this blockchain bullshit.
Tell us some good news.
So apparently a lot of the virtual reality people who came in who were just looking for the money have left for the blockchain.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm a little disappointed. I thought you were talking about you're going to do the Laughing Man ICO. I have to admit, I am disappointed in you, Alex.
I fucking should.
Ponzi Coin 3.0.
Yes.
You just tell them, this is a scam, I will steal your money, and you get a free $1 billion.
Exactly. But it has worked twice. I don't know how Ponzi Coin has worked twice, but it has.
I did not hear the second time. I heard the first time where he literally said on the website, this is a Ponzi scheme. This is a literal Ponzi scheme. Our entire business model is you lose money, I get money, and people still put a lot of money into it. You had to look at a website before you could buy any Ponzi coins.
Could we do could we do like a Roseanne coin?
Oh, God.
At that point, just your Planet of the Apes coin, and just have Roseanne as kind of like the brand, the logo.
I like it.
Good times. Good
People
times.
are stupid. See, that's why you should shut Twitter off at midnight and not reopen it until 6 a.m.
Yeah, Deviant's still giving me shit on stuff online. Deviant, the same jackass who once called somebody a shithead because they said they hire based on merit.
Is that the woman that you posted about?
No, Deviant is inferior man.
Oh, okay. So I saw the one where there was the lady you blocked and she blocked you, and
that was Jackie. Yes.
Yes, Jackie.
She was quote tweeting something to me from Deviant, and Deviant once told me, "Seriously, I've known you for a long time. Please understand, you're just actively hurting the community right now, or actively hurting the community now." Because I mocked Anita Sarkeesian because someone who Anita Sarkeesian harassed was on the Joe Rogan show.
Well, Anita is shit on a stick to begin with.
Anita's she's a professional victim, not as bad as some of her colleagues, but she's a professional victim nevertheless.
You buy her political belief systems and so forth. The analysis seems pretty half-assed, and she didn't even finish all the videos she was contracted for on the original GoFundMe.
See, that's what pisses me off about her. Is the fact that, like, if you say you're going to do something,
fucking do it.
Do it.
Like,
do it.
And then, like, every time she posted a video, it was like a very blatant attention grab, if you know what I mean. Like,
I'm being censored, United Nations. I'm being censored, congressional aides. Please, if I get harassed anymore, I'm not going to get any. I'm gonna be silenced, MSNBC news host.
And then
please help me, CNN.
And then from the same era as Anita Sarkeesian, I also hate that one girl who took the picture of those two dudes at PyCon having a conversation about dongles and got them fired. Like, I'm still pissed about that because that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that is pretty asinine.
Wasn't she one of the people who Google kind of like lionized with Google ideas? Like, as being one of the people who is going to be leading the charge against online harassment. Her and Randy Harper and Brianna Wu and Anita Sarkeesian and that girl who made that grown UK man cry, who literally has zero tech accomplishment whatsoever, whose literal only accomplishment is making a grown man cry on national television. She, all of her peers, will be the ones to stop online harassment.
You're never going to stop it, though. That's the thing.
Well, I was more so pointing out the cartoonish hypocrisy, but yes, that is also true.
Holy crap, Evie! You and Adrian should tag team on Twitter SJWs. I'm reading through your stuff.
But the other thing is, like, I'm much further left than Adrian.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. That's
it doesn't matter.
That is
at one point that you can agree with. You just go with it.
I'm much further left than Adrian, and we can both often agree on how much SJWs are pretty much a genuinely awful pile of shit crowd, where you have rapists or convicted sex offenders complaining about other people, accusing other people of being sex offenders falsely, while they are actual sex offenders.
You're not wrong. I'm a damn anarcho-syndicalist, and it's like, I agree with Adrian on a shit ton of this stuff, and I'm looking at this shit they do, and I'm going, what the fuck, people?
Like, social justice is important, but let's not all lose our goddamn minds. That's my whole take on it. Like, I do and you guys see this, like, you see me retweeting stuff that's, you know, about gay rights, about, you know, everything else. Yeah. It's just that, like, I'm also sane about it, if that makes sense.
Well, at Post Milo and a few other people, most of the right that's under a certain age is pretty damn cool to gay folks. That it's like, okay, you go do you.
Yeah, with me, it's, like, I'm pretty openly, like, bisexual, and that has never been a secret.
Me too. If I want sex, I gotta buy it. But anyway, sorry. Evie, continue.
But yeah, like, so there's actually, like, I'm pretty much a pariah in, or at least bi people are a pariah in the gay community because, like, they want us to pick, like, the gay community wants us to pick a side. And we're like, no.
Why do they
you can't play both fields. You got to pick one or the other.
Yeah, like, if I'm in a straight relationship, I'm told, like, I'm constantly asked, like, was this just a phase? And I'm like, no, I still like girls. And if I'm in a homosexual relationship, I'm asked constantly, was this just a phase? And I'm like, no, I still like guys.
And this is not the first time I've heard this by any means, because there's someone who we had a big conflict with later on, but she once complained about she was rejected from certain feminist circles because she also liked men sexually, and she had problems with that. So I've heard this from other people before, but I don't see. So there's people who are like gay purists, like they just want you have to be all one team or one not. I don't. I don't understand it myself. I don't follow it. I don't.
These are the same people who push for, black people have to have their own space where non-blacks can't go into it.
Don't
no.
say that shit.
No. That's what some of them are pushing for. I'm not saying segregation, although unironically that's what they're pushing for. But that is kind of they want people of same style to be together, which is unironically exactly.
It is just straight up gatekeeping.
Yeah.
And like I deal with a lot of gatekeeping between being in like multiple nerd communities. Like I play board games. Y'all know I play Magic the Gathering. You all know like I do all of these things. And especially with metal, there's a ton of gatekeeping there too. And I'm just like, why? Let me enjoy stuff.
Because there's a comic about this shit, though. That's just it. There is a comic about this shit where it's just the guy grabbing the other guy's lips going, shh, let people enjoy things.
Yes, and like...
But if you enjoy things someone else doesn't enjoy, then control freaks can't be happy. And control freaks can only be happy when you are miserable. And because people like you don't defend themselves against control freaks, I'm being facetious here. I'm not actually commenting what you would do or don't do. Like many people don't defend themselves against control freaks tend to keep pulling and pulling and pulling because they keep getting what they want.
I actually do defend myself. Like when I actively played Magic the Gathering, a lot of the times I would be asked, did your boyfriend teach you how to play? And I just look at them deadpan and be like, no, but yours did.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I haven't played Magic the Gathering in like 20 years. Back when I did, I gotta admit, I was a burn deck person. Burn deck, you red and black.
Red deck wins!
Yes. I have like 1,000 cards I ordered from my magazine back, God, that was probably 17, 18 years ago. I still have them. I still have all the 1,000 cards.
So I played competitive Legacy. I have played competitive Standard. I have played all the Winnaboxes. I have gone to like actual tournaments. Wow. And a lot of people like were surprised that I wasn't sitting at the board girlfriend's table where we all had our 3DSs out.
Well, I hope you kicked a lot of their asses.
Yes, I did. And I have like a really good, I actually have like a really good, I won a counter war, game story, but like, yeah.
My brother used to play, I'm still maybe playing some tournaments like it. You know, if you're familiar with Origins up in Columbus, Ohio?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. My brother used to play there in places. I haven't played in years. Now, I've noticed that there's apparently some a whole bunch of drama going on in that community too. There's some dude who I've listened to our feed called The Quartering.
Oh God, him.
Well,
he's like the male Anita Sarkeesian.
I don't know. Oh, surely he's not that bad.
He is bad.
There's a lot of drama in the Magic community. The most recent thing that brings to mind is that one dude chasing that cosplayer out, and it's like, she was a net good, right? Like, why did
I haven't heard about that one?
Oh fuck! I want to say it was like MTG Lion or whatever, and he weaponized his fans against this one cosplayer who did a full Avacyn cosplay and has been cosplaying like Liliana and a lot of the Face Walkers and has just been generally awesome.
We might be talking a similar person because I remember the guy I was listening to, The Quartering. had something like that with cosplayer because he said something about a cosplayer. He questioned the ethics of someone using the physical attributes to get a bunch of really lonely, kind of socially awkward young men to send him money.
So
there are some cosplayers like that.
So I'm thinking there's multiple sides of this story because I'm thinking it might be the same guy I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think we're thinking of the same guy. It's just that, like, I don't think he should have chased her out of the community.
I don't think it was a bit of chased out. I think it was a statement of, well, this is kind of questionable, and guys, why are you sending money like this?
If you want to, like, I support a few cosplayers on Patreon.
Like, why did he chase her out of the community?
He actually had a targeted harassment campaign against her.
What was his justification?
That he did not like the fact that she would just show up to tournaments and cosplay.
Wait, which cosplayer was this?
This was the Avison cosplayer. I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry.
And the it wasn't targeted. It was just some comments he made in a YouTube video, and then other people did what they did.
Yeah, like, I don't disagree with you there, but it still feels, somewhat targeted since he, straight up called her out on it. And I also believe she was a net good for the community.
Okay, because I know that Momokun got targeted for a while and all that shit, so I was wondering if it was Momokun.
And, you have to also consider, I used to be a cosplayer.
Well, I mean, was the guy being a prude, or was she saying she was? No, come on. Nothing of what he did was justified. I'm just trying to understand what exactly was the angle.
That she actually didn't have magic skills, which was also not true. And that her entire point was to leech money off of lonely nerds. And I'm just like, so you don't show up to grinder tournaments like that if you suck, if you catch my drift.
Right. Okay. So now I have a better understanding of the nature of why he went after her. And don't get me wrong, nothing of what he did was right. It's just my thing. I just try to understand.
No.
I like understanding.
I get that, Liz. Like, I totally get that. I was on her side, but it's not just because, female solidarity. It comes down to, like, I actually believe what this person did was wrong because, like, you have this person who makes these beautiful cosplays, especially with, iconic cards like Avison and stuff. And then you chase her out of the community. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense unless you're an asshole.
Yeah. And I think this guy was an asshole.
I mean, I'm staying quiet on this mainly because it's been about damn near 20 years since I played Magic. So at the same time, it's like, I don't know what the hell I'd be talking about. I'm not making an ass of myself.
Yeah, and
I've seen other videos and chats from the opposite side of it. So I don't know. I've also heard that the lady in question, after the supposed harassment campaign, ended up making a hell of a lot more. Her Patreon was going down and down and down. And then all of a sudden, boom, up it goes.
Yeah, controversy tends to do that.
I actually don't contribute to her Patreon. I only contribute to Patreons in which someone I know personally, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I have one person who's contributing my Patreon, but I never actually fill out the form to say, hey, I've submitted this video because I'm just too fucking lazy. Because I have one person on my Patreon.
I know one person supports me on Patreon, and I support like Hadith and someone else, and that's pretty much it.
I would be supporting people on Patreon, but again, no job, no money.
Yeah, I actually, have a job. I just hate my job. And y'all know that.
Twitter, then. I support a ton of people on Patreon. Probably too many.
I don't know. I only support one person on Patreon, and I don't give a shit that she sends me shit or one way or the other. So
I should probably get my Patreon up and rolling. I know I have one set up. I just haven't fully set it up yet.
I'd probably give to your Patreon.
Every little bit helps.
Even if it was $1 a month?
Every little bit helps.
Yes.
Even if it's a coffee, it helps.
Yes. I also have a coffee page, but like I just make like stupid, single page web apps for funsies and, work my actual job and post about metal and stuff.
You need to go full shit poster like Wint. He makes $2,000 a month on Patreon from shit posting.
I need to go full Wint.
Oh, no.
Yes, you do.
But then again, like, I don't understand why anyone follows me on Twitter.
You must have said something amusing to me at some point. I don't know what it was, but
you're a nice person. I follow you on Twitter.
You also said that I am the last person you were going to throw out of the helicopter.
Yes, well, that's the general.
At least you weren't the first.
Yes, it's a general communist meme. I mean, I like you, but you're still a commie. So eventually, you got to go out the helicopter. It's just the rules. I don't make them. I just observe them. Maybe one of your forms that you evolve into eventually can fly. Some of the EVs can fly, right?
No, not currently. Me and IR Hot Takes have actually had like a conversation about this, and the flying type EV is just an EV wearing like a
parachute.
No, it's an EV wearing a
jetpack.
No, fuck, I can't remember the name. Like a
wingsuit.
No. It's just an EV. It's an EV wearing like a propeller beanie. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
That is totally what it is, and it just makes helicopter sounds with its mouth.
Nice.
Am I wrong?
No.
Well, a more powerful propulsion system. Maybe we can use you as the helicopter to throw over commies from.
Oh, so I found something awesome.
What's that?
Kubernetes VR.
What is that?
I just linked it. They created a VR interface to manage Kubernetes.
I don't know what a Kubernetes is.
Okay, so are you familiar with Docker?
Only vaguely, yeah.
So Docker spins up like mini VMs called containers that essentially run individual processes and then fuck off. So Kubernetes acts as an orchestration platform for Docker containers. Essentially allows you to spin up, say, orchestrate, say, okay, you want to set up Metasploit with a database, go for it kind of thing, And essentially what Kubernetes does is it allows you to run microservices and containers and orchestrate all that shit and scale it automatically. So somebody managed to make a virtual reality interface for Kubernetes. I linked it in the side.
Okay.
God, this reminds me of like the Doom sysadmin tool.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that's coming in the near future if you catch
No, that was actually a real thing. Hold on. Be funny here. Here we go. The link in the chat. No, it's sort of someone did a port of Doom for Linux where it actually runs and creates monsters on E1M1 with every monster being a process on the system. And you shoot the monster, it knices it. You kill the process, it kills. Kill the monster, kill the process.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god, yes.
I like that.
Oh, someone made Dockercraft as well, which is Docker in Minecraft.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Ellie, no.
Easy yes.
I think the yes is going to win.
My work also didn't believe me that someone made Doom in Excel.
Oh yeah.
People have made a functional 16-bit processor in Minecraft. A VM of Minecraft in Minecraft.
Yeah. People put Doom on the TI-83. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am convinced that the next thing Bethesda is going to release is Doom for the TI-83.
No, this is Bethesda. The next thing they'll release in T83 is Skyrim.
Yes, Skyrim for the TI-83, and I don't think I'm wrong there.
You're not. Todd Howard is apparently revealing it at E3.
Oh, God. No.
Wow.
I want to get off this timeline.
But actually, fun thing, yeah, this actually came out in 1999. So this came out before, turn of the century. And yeah, it's got very interesting ideas it explores, like, processes killing each other from memory, and or the processes fighting back against the sysadmin to prevent them from being killed, shit like that.
Did you see that Moore on his weekend made a phone, like an IP phone, control Doom?
Not surprised.
Yes.
Morb, though. What do you expect?
Nothing else. It's Morb.
It's like me not shitposting about, the blockchain and stuff.
Wait. Don't make me blockchain you.
Owie, no.
Yes.
So what's the next cons everybody's going to be at? I'm obviously going to be at Circle City Con and Show Me Con.
There's a non-zero chance I'll be at Hope and DEF CON and Derby, but I don't have anything set in place at the moment because London is possibly a thing.
I think Hope may be my next con.
My job
next HackerCon anyway.
Now giving me PTO, and I got to go see a PDoc before I think about going to a HackerCon. If you catch my drift.
Okay, a PDoc?
Psychiatrist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no secret. I have bipolar disorder, and that is something I need to deal with.
That's like you like sex with both penguins and polar bears, correct?
Yeah, of course, Adrian.
All the furries.
Well, penguins are technically a feathery.
Okay. Feathery and furry.
Well, I mean, she is a furry, so it's kind of like probably. I'm sorry, but you don't get to make those decisions, Evie.
Y'all think I'm a furry, but I'm actually not.
I'm sorry, you have to live as a stereotype.
God damn it, guys!
We don't make the rules, Evie.
Okay.
What's your Arcadia profile?
Good luck with that, but I think a lot of cons are pretty welcoming. I mean, I heard some cons as cliquish, but they were people.
It isn't that they aren't welcoming; it's that I need the PTO time.
Okay.
So, and my job currently sucks, but I am totally looking for another job. If you need a web developer that is kind of good, that is me.
I can attest to this. She helped me figure out CSS issues.
Cool. But here's what I'm going to do. I think what we'll do is we can talk about more private stuff and so forth. I'm going to stop the stream, but leave the chat going.
Yeah.
Sound good,
real quick on the con side. I'll be at a 614 con. It's mid-June, and then Derby.
That's in Columbus, Ohio, correct?
Yep.
And then my next con is going to be Circle City.
Ooh, that's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
If I had the ability to get there, I'd be there, but since I don't, oh well.
I'd be there, but again, I'd have to fly out on Friday and take a day of PTO that I don't have because my job is shitty.
She's got the whole polar bear and penguin thing going on.
God damn it. Y'all suck.
It's all fun. Come on.
I know.
I just have the depression and emotional scars from family so deep you can almost see them physically. But all right, we're gonna let the cast end, but we will keep the chat going. So thank you all for joining, and see y'all next Wednesday. And everybody, hang on to the chat because we'll be at some more.